Hey guys, so I know that unless you've been living under a rock, you know what's going on and have seen Amazon's new changes with their review policy. So I was about to write a blog post and just thoughts were coming together. So I figured I would just put together a little mini presentation on this and my thoughts on it, the way it stands currently. I've been doing a lot of reading in other groups, listening to other people, seeing what their take was on it. And so just wanted to kind of sum up some of the things that that I've learned and some of the things that I think personally for going forward with all this change. So basically, what is up with that? What's up with the review policy? So here's the policy. Amazon no longer permits providing free or discounted products in exchange for reviews. The policy is effective immediately. If you continue to offer free or discounted products in exchange for a review, your privileges could be suspended or revoked. So if you've done Review Club or are currently doing one, I suggest you definitely stop it immediately. If you've given away any products and the reviewers haven't left a review yet, I would contact them and tell them not to leave a review. If some do pop up, I would probably contact Amazon and tell them that a review came in from a reviewer, and the way that you know it's from reviewers, if at the bottom they say that they received the product in exchange for if they received a product for free or a discount in exchange for their unbiased review. If you have any that pop up since this ruling, then I would contact Amazon, be proactive about it, tell them that it happened, that they received the product way before the deadline or before this came into effect, and that you're asking Amazon to remove it. So I'd be proactive in that. So no more review clubs. I would not. I know that the review clubs are going to start turning into sites where you can get your product, get a bunch of sales quickly, and we'll see how that goes and whether that's wise. But at this point, I would say completely stay away from all the review clubs going forward. And so I know you guys think that I'm the private label guy, and I've actually used review clubs in the past to get products launched. So you think that I'd be really upset at this news? I actually think it's a good thing. And in my mind, it levels the playing field. So the thing is that when you doing private label, you see other sellers that have just an unlimited budget, or these mega sellers or whatever, and they come in with these very subpar or very competitive products, and in a matter of just several days they have 50 reviews in a few days, or maybe 100 reviews in a week, and they're passing everybody up because they can afford to give away all these products. And it's in my mind, it's not really not fair for some of us who don't have that kind of a budget. So in my mind, it levels the playing field. It makes it much more even. So even starting out brand new and not doing private label yet, you can compete with everybody else. And so what should you do? What moving forward, what do you think what's the best plan of action moving forward? Basically, guys, is just build a real business. Some of these guys that come in and launch a product and give away hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them to gain momentum, they're just doing it to make a quick buck and get rich quick. And I know that sounds awesome to be able to do that, and but Amazon's putting the hammer down on it. And some of these people are just going to quit. It's not worth it. They're going to move on to the next shiny object. But you and I are here to build a real business, guys. And so, and I know if you're in my private label mentoring program, that's the way you are. That's why you got into it. You want to quit your 9-to-5 job or whatever. And private label is not dead by any means. Please don't think that because of this that you can't get a product launched. It's absolutely not the case. There's so many people in my program that I've talked to that didn't even use review clubs and have got their products selling. So if you are brand new to private label, this really doesn't affect you much. If you're like me and have used review clubs in the past to get started and get your product launched, then you're just going to have to adjust a little bit and use different strategies. And it's fine. I'm okay with that because I know what I need to do to move forward. Number one, guys, is product selection. The thing is, you just want to differentiate yourself. Don't pick the same product as everybody else. So I believe the days are gone where you can pick a product like a silicone baking mat and just with an unlimited budget hope to surpass the guy that's been selling on the listing for 3 years or selling on Amazon for 3 years. So it's the same stuff we've been preaching about, creating bundles. You're making yourself different. Amazon's always going to come out with something, and it's going to scare people, and they're going to end up moving on to something else. But you guys are the ones that will adapt and move forward and continue to build a real business. So just think about the audience you're trying to reach, and that's why I think it's actually going to be even more important moving forward, is to know the niche you're selling in. I know that some of you are probably selling in niches that you don't really care about, and that's okay. But if you have some kind of knowledge about it, or you're interested in the niche, you're going to learn a little bit more about the nuances of it. You're going to know more about your customer than everybody else. So if you're selling a product and the guy that's also selling the same type of product doesn't know as much as you do, you have an advantage because you know where those customers are online. You know just some things about the product that they don't. So my advice moving forward is to differentiate yourself. Pick something different. Don't pick a silicone baking mat. Don't pick a garlic press. Unless there's a way you guys can make it different or bundle it with something that's different. I'm even actually going to play around with Abe's his method of doing keywords. If you guys saw that webinar, where you find keywords that are that don't have sponsored ads. So I'm going to do a test, and I think I'm actually going to pick something that's very competitive and see how well it does using keywords that maybe don't have sponsored ads. So I don't know if it's gonna work well or not, but there is a strategy there that if you are in a competitive niche, that you should try to find keywords that don't have sponsored ads already. And so check out Abe's webinar for that. But overall, if you haven't picked a product yet, find something that's a little bit different than everybody else has. Don't pick a product that 500 other sellers are doing. Don't pick something that is just so super competitive that it's going to be very hard to get momentum. So go into the product selection, just try to be different, try to pick a niche that you have an interest in or knowledge about, and you're going to be much further ahead. So launch strategy. I know that we've talked about using review clubs in the past, and that's something that I have done to get my first 5 or 10 reviews. But moving forward, I'm absolutely not going to be doing that. So if you've been like me in the past, have used that and thought, hey, that's an easy way to get products launched, then what's our plan moving forward? So here's what I'm going to start doing, and what I've been reading and looking in other Facebook groups. So basically, initial discounted price, then raise it up slowly. So let's say the product that you were selling is $19.99. That's the real price you want to get. I am going to do different tests, and test is the thing. But I'm going to start with maybe a 50% discount, see if I can get sales at $10. Maybe I need to go down to $5 and get the sales initially. But whatever I start with, and this is something I'm just going to keep testing, and I'd love to have your guys' feedback on what you are doing, what you think is going to work. But initially, just like any other product out there on the market, a lot of times they have a initial price that's lower to get momentum. So just do the same thing. So pick a lower price point to get the sales, and then slowly raise it up to where you really want it to be. But the key thing is just to test this. And so then how do you get reviews? So if you get some sales using the lower price method, then the way I'm going to start getting reviews, and this is something I've always been doing, is I follow up with an email. And I've been through programs, they talk about sending email after email after email. I never ever did that, because I always thought, I don't like those emails when I get one that says, your order is being shipped, and then your order should have arrived today, and a few days later, how's it going with your item? And then next email is like, now hopefully we've given you some good customer service. Now, follow up with, we'd like for you to leave us a review. I always thought that was too many. If you've done that in the past, that's okay. My advice, and I think actually the next big change that Amazon is going to implement, is to probably limit the number of emails that sellers can send buyers. I think a lot of sellers, I've seen articles about, you know, buyers tired of the spam on Amazon, and Amazon listens to that. And I think that's actually some of the reason that precipitated this this change with the reviews, is that buyers were not sure, you know, what the truly good products were, because there was so many products on Amazon that had all these reviews that were, you know, done by, you know, professional reviewers and with giveaway products. So many products, guys, had most of their reviews being ones that were done through giveaways. So obviously you can see that, you know, Amazon, you know, dropped the hammer on that and is done with that method. And so going forward, the thing that I'm going to be doing is lowering the price to get some sales, and then following up with just one email to the customer. Make it very customer focused, focused on them. Ask them, you know, about the product. And actually what I'll do is probably come up with show you the template that I use. And then, but I'd love to hear some of your guys' opinions on emails you use that gets a good number of reviews. So just follow up with one email that asks for a review. And that's it. Now, it's going to take a little bit more time than it did originally to get a product launched and get, you know, your first 4 or 5 reviews. Hey, but, you know, at least it's even for everybody. At least there's not now a way to, I mean, there's probably a way somebody's going to try to game the system, but I don't recommend doing that. But just build it the way that everybody else does. And so follow up with one email. The next big thing that I'm going to be, and I do this already, but really focus even more time on it, is Amazon sponsored ads. And I know that a lot of you have asked for a webinar for Amazon sponsored ads, and I promise we'll do it. I'll get on with somebody else in the group that I know is doing very well with this, has a lot of knowledge of it, and we'll do a webinar on Amazon sponsored ads. But I think going forward, that's a big key to make yourself stand out, especially if you use a method like Abe does with his webinar. If you have an item that might be a little more competitive, your Amazon sponsored ads are what can potentially set you apart and help you move past the crowd. And so Amazon sponsored ads is going to be a very big key for me moving forward. And then lastly, external traffic. You know, think about where does the audience that you are trying to reach with your product, where do they hang out online? If they're on Facebook, you can use Facebook ads. If they're Pinterest type folks, then Pinterest ads. If you're on Instagram, and there's a typo there I see now, use Instagram. Reach out to bloggers that are in your niche and talk to them about you know, doing something with your product, and you know, to use promo codes or whatever you need to do. And I think promo codes are still fine to do. Amazon's not done away with that. And then YouTube. If they're do a Google search for your product and see if there's a video on it. If there's not a video with some of your main keywords, then there's an opportunity for you guys to be at the top of page 1 in Google with a YouTube ad. So, or with a YouTube video. So those are the things moving forward that I'm really going to do. You know, I just think that this is overall a very good thing, and it totally levels the playing field for everybody. And I look forward to working with you guys moving forward to, you know, see the strategies that make sense, what works. If you're in the Facebook group and you're seeing a good success with certain ways, external traffic, of getting traffic to your Amazon listings, let me know about that. Let others know about that. It'd be very helpful. So guys, that's my take on this. It's a good thing, welcome thing in my opinion, and you know, just get after it. You'll do well.